I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you're watching this transmission. Guys, stay tuned to this, wherever you are in the English-speaking world, wherever you are in the Commonwealth, stay tuned to this. This is major. This is either happening in a city near you, or it's been happening in a city near you, or it's going to encompass and become part of a city near you. That's a tongue twister and a half. Before we kick this off, the show tonight off, guys, don't forget to follow us on Rumble. I get a lot of people asking me, Mike, where's Mike in the Night? Mike, I can't find Mike in the Night. Where are you? We are on Rumble now. You can find us on Rumble for Mike in the Night. This is the last episode, 497, if you guys want to join us. And we got verified on Rumble, too. So 497 on Rumble. And there's the episode right there. Really good callers. And it was 5G destruction, food supply, bioweapons, and controlled demolition. So look forward to seeing you guys on Rumble every Saturday and Wednesday night for Mike of the Night. Okay, what's happening? This is major. Now, we've been covering this major real estate crisis that's been happening for over a decade now. But look at this. Now, we brought this up on Mike of the Night, and I got a lot of people message me on that to maybe kind of like go a little bit more in depth, where Canada's epic real estate bubble means mayors can't afford their own cities. And it's true. And how unaffordable is Canadian real estate? It's reached the point that mayors of major cities can't afford to buy a home in their own city at today's prices. This is coming from Better Dwelling there. Go check them out. Not much sympathy from your typical household. That makes significantly less. However, it should trigger more questions around how they are dealing with housing. Are policymakers really that bad at their jobs, or is it an intentional sabotage? And we've been talking about the economic takeover on this channel for years now. About today's numbers. Today we're looking at whether mayors of Canada in major cities can afford a median home in their city. Median home. So people are thinking Shaquille O'Neal's house, like a big Michael Jordan mansion. No, we're talking about like a median home, family homes. Affordability is determined using the National Bank of Canada, NBF. Minimum income calculations and household incomes used in the analysis are from the NBF, since the data doesn't lag as much as national sets. So let's get to this. So there it is right there. CEO of BlackRock once told portfolio managers at 8,000 miles away that the Vancouver real estate is a great store of wealth. Naturally, buying one of these safety deposit boxes, sleep holes, isn't cheap at $1.31 million. A borrower would need an income of about $270,000 a year, right? So this is where people parking money in real estate and just leaving it there empty. Most people don't rent it out for the headaches. And Montreal real estate is no longer affordable, but the mayor can still live there. So Montreal used to be known as one of the most affordable parts of Canada. Cheap credit, stimulus, speculation, and induced demand of changes that pretty fast. A medium home now sells for $524,000, requiring a minimum income of $127,000 a year for the mortgage. It may seem affordable for Toronto or Vancouver, but not for local medium households making $75,000 per year. So there it is right there. Victoria mayor would need another mayor as their roommates to buy a home. So Victoria, so you need to make $221 per year, but the median pay is $78,000. Most of Canadian cities are hard to buy in now. And if you want to read the whole article, it's a really well laid out article here on Better Dwelling that explains it to you in depth with links going to other ones. Now, let's go to another Better Dwelling. Canadian real estate market saw prices rise up to $42,000 per month. Holy smokes, you can't make this up. 42 large per month. Are people making an extra $42,000 a month in their pay? Woo! So there it is right there. So $42,000 a month. Canada's credit crazy real estate buyers have flooded the market once again. Canadian Real Estate Association data shows a benchmark or typical homes rose in March 2023, breaking the data down by market. Most saw sustainable increases. One market even saw prices rip over $40,000 higher over a span of just 31 days. You can't make this. So Canadian real estate markets are falling in just 1 in 5 markets. So everything else seems to be seeing some sort of a correction as they started raising interest rates to hedge against inflation, like we've been saying for the last 10 years. Canadian home prices rose in 80% of real estate markets. The other 4 and 5 market indexes show sustainable growth. The fastest rising rates were in Sudbury, North Bay. So these are all areas outside of the Greater Toronto Area where they're really going out of the greater Toronto Area. So a small city in Ontario is seeing exuberant growth. Again, these cities here are seeing incredible amount of growth, a 27,000% increase. A little more surprising, Sudbury third logging as $22,000 in growth, and it's 3 times the size. It's just 3 times, so not 3 times the size, 3 times the uptick in price. I gotta set myself clear there when I'm saying this. Now, we've been very warning you guys about this. Take a look at this. Look at this house in Canada, in Vancouver, okay? 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, $5.5 million. We did this on a housing ripoff segment 3 years ago, just before they pulled the trigger on the pandemic to start settling things down and get the moving pieces on the block there, on the board, so that they could get investors in and get money moved around, shifted around. And so I did a little bit of research for you guys and show you 1 year's worth of payments towards this house. 1 year in payments will buy you one of these homes free and clear. This is in the United States. As prices are skyrocketing or getting out of hand in Canada, prices actually have been going down bad. So most people will see this and say, oh, that's in a ghetto. That 245, that's the total ghetto. What about this? Woo! So here it is here. Look, what about all this? What? Look at all this. Look. And pages after pages and pages and pages and absolute pages and pages of affordable family homes to get started. Unfortunately, Canada does not have this kind of... See, this is the blue states, some of the blue states of... the red states of America. The red states are still holding their ground and not allowing money laundering. You flip over to California, and guess what happens? You don't have almost nothing for that price. Why? Because these states are built off of money laundering and fentanyl and all that stuff. Some of these states are becoming more and more affordable here. The further east you go, the more options you have, and if the further south you go, the better weather you have. And I just wanted to show this to you guys. It's not fake. It's happening right now as we speak. They're seeing a correction in the American housing market. This house in Canada, $4 million. But that's just how it works in Canada. And low rates helping Canadian real estate investors outcompete for first-time home buyers. And Canada would be in a recession without money laundering. Again, better dwelling. And this gives you a little inside global news, how Chinese gangs are laundering drug money through Vancouver real estate. And this basically is through the fake Canadian news actually reporting on this back in 2018 before they pulled the trigger on the pandemic, on how the chemicals were produced in Chinese factories and then the money was sent over, eventually reaching the shores in Vancouver and through banking systems and how the product is produced and goes around the world. Then it goes into Canadian real estate. So it's a really good video showing this has been happening since the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver, where in 2010 there should have been a correction in the housing market in Vancouver because it was already 6 to 8 to 10 times the median annual income of a family. And people were, okay, this is going to be a correction for after the Olympics. The markets are going to crash. Skyrocketed. Vancouver opened its doors to money laundering and allowed the destruction of their own people. And like we said back in the day, will the economy crash by 2020? It has to, unless they ramp up immigration or money laundering 5 years ago. Mortgage debt has passed 80% of GDP. Economic storm hitting major tax hikes and major exodus ahead 2 years ago. And we've been very vocal about this on this channel, warning people about the dangers of playing with people's housing and people's livelihood and all that jazz. Anyways, guys, Mike Martin's here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Mayors can't afford their own cities unless they get 3 mayors to move in with them. And Canadian real estate prices are going up in rural areas that normally wouldn't see this kind of uptick because the incomes don't match the housing prices, of course. And let me know about American real estate, how you guys feel in Canada or Australia or New Zealand, how you can't get your hands on a home like this. And unless you're an illegal alien coming in from the southern U.S. border from Mexico, you would get in and have a good time. But unfortunately, people in Canada have a really hard time because I'm speaking to more and more people who are getting deported from the United States as Canadians living there for 10, 15 years, and they were just there kind of living. And they weren't given citizenship, they weren't given anything, and they were just shown the door and put back on a bus. I keep getting those emails. Guys, keep emailing me your stories on what's happening and how you are not welcome in the United States as a Canadian. And I was one of them. I was basically shown the door myself after getting a big corporation to sponsor me. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Look at the gander. Let's gander at these homes. Yeah. You can't even build that in Canada for that much money. You can't even build that for that much in Canada or Australia or New Zealand or the UK. You can't even build that. Americans have it so good, I wish they knew how good they had it. Anyways, guys, Mike Martin's here. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. Don't forget to join us on Saturday nights on Rumble for Mike in the Nights. I have spoken.